So it's come down to this. I'm being threatened by Marissa. Am I fearful? Not exactly. This is not a very intelligent woman, not very good at research. And I don't know who she's fooling, but she's also not exactly the hardcore activist she puts herself out as. She just likes banging her drum and smoking a lot of drugs and pontificating on the heroism of Onora because, but let me try to make this polemical discussion more productive because this does have a substantive core. For those who don't know, Gerry Armstrong is probably one of the best and one of the oldest anti Scientology critics. He's been on the scene since the 1980s, done a lot of great work legally as well as on the streets to help people. And the theme for today is unfortunately, Gerry is a hero, but I cannot claim to be a hero. And I don't think Noam Chomsky is a hero, unfortunately. And why is Noam so valuable? Well, let's try to expose the not heroes like Rinder and Chris Shelton. Have they done some good work? Sure. And Shelton, especially, I will give some praise. Apparently, he is promising to platform some of Aaron Smith Levin's victims. And if you know the Scientology, anti Scientology scene, Aaron has been dominant. And again, let's give some consistent praise because Aaron has promised he will interview Gerry and perhaps allow Gerry's message about the IRS case and about the very long fair gaming he has experienced at the hands of OSA and Scientology to be broadcast to a much larger audience. He hasn't done that yet, but maybe it will happen. Even if it does happen, does that make Aaron a good guy? No. He's done a lot of horrible, stupid, evil things. So him helping Gerry at this late moment is kind of pathetic. But it is what it is. We can't all be Gerry. Can't all be Edward Snowden or John Cusack, who has done a lot of great work keeping the message out there about the atrocities that Israel is committing and a lot of their propagandists. How do we categorize these people? Well, I think with Chomsky, people don't want to hear this, but he is what he is, as is Mike Rinder, a Hollywood celebrity. Now, I'm not making a direct comparison because obviously Chomsky is a much better person, but I would have to be honest that Chomsky is what he is. He's a very rich, multimillionaire, very privileged man. For decades, his work was funded by the CIA. Literally, MIT got a lot of CIA dollars. And the excuse or justification from the Noam Chomsky cult, which I was a member of and good standing for years, is like, yeah, but he does so much good stuff. But then you do look at his record, his hypocrisy, double standards, and frankly, self-interest, and you realize he has the Rinder dilemma. He will help victims, but for the most part, only if they serve his ideological, personal, and professional self-interest. These other victims don't really matter, and Chomsky's reasonings for not caring about those people, frankly, are not impressive. He's done a lot of good work, but he's done a lot of bad work. So we just have to work with that dilemma that he's a very corrupt individual. I would place Rinder and Shelton at the extremity of Hollywood celebrities who just bathe themselves in the corruption. Chomsky is more moderate. To be fair to him, surprise, I would place myself next to Chomsky. But I will have to be honest, looking back at some of my former work, and it's very embarrassing, I'd be like, that did not age well. And I took some stances that I now am like, oof, that is very rough because I did put too much trust in Chomsky. And now realize even his work, as impressive as it is, has many, many defects. I think Gerry's work will, like Chomsky, stand the test of time. I'd recommend his channel and recommend the very good video he did on the IRS. However, I'm not here to do false praise. If Gerry thinks I've failed in being as critical as I should be with Rinder or Shelton, and he has a very devastating video on Shelton, I'd recommend that too. I'd have to disagree. I do think Mike Rinder is a secret OSA man, like the allegation that Chomsky is a secret controlled opposition CIA man. More and more appears to me not to be true. That said, I don't think Gerry's a wild, crazy conspiracy nutcase guy. I just think the evidence isn't leaning towards that. More and more, I think Rinder is kind of a minor pawn. Like him and this whole Brian Kent thing is hiding a much larger, more insidious conspiracy. But I'm going to have to do more work on that. But even if he is just a pawn, he is a very troublesome figure. Did Rinder help people? Undoubtedly he did. Did he help as many people as he brags? No. May he help some of the victims of Aaron Smith Levin? Maybe, but it'll be out of cynical self interest. He's posing as a hero. He's posing as if he were Gerry Armstrong, which is not true. But I have to be honest, Chomsky does it too. He does embrace the hero role, which he doesn't deserve sometimes. And maybe in one of my weaker moments, I've also declared myself a hero. But I'm no hero. I am as corrupt as Chomsky. I can claim to have done some good work, but it is from a very corrupt perspective. I mean, Chomsky gets published by major publishers. He's been on national television, right? He's not exactly a starving homeless activist, but he has done some good work. As has Rinder. You have to be reluctantly admitting that, but it's not too much. Gerry has done amazing, great work, as has Snowden, as has Cusack. And again, they're not starving. They're doing fine, but they've not been honored as much as they should be. That is life. I can do more and more to give proper praise to those people, but I am fairly corrupt. So if Marisa wants to expose my corruption, good luck with that. And by the way, does she think she's doing something? I've been attacked and hounded now for months and months and months. But hey, I've recommended she read a lot of Chomsky. She says she has read Chomsky. I recommend she read a lot more Chomsky because it doesn't feel like she has integrated the very little good work that Noam has done. I don't think she's really understood it very well. But that's just my opinion.